Welcome back to Byline. I'm Brian Lilly. Federal Green Party leader Elizabeth May says Canada is a dictatorship. May made the comments last week on Twitter. She was in an exchange with Jim Holt when May wrote, "We may disagree on definition. We are an elected dictatorship. All power in PMO. Not healthy." Toronto Sun columnist Laurie Goldstein joins us now. Laurie, you and I can discuss, we can all discuss whether there's too much power in the hands of the Prime Minister's office. I think that's a discussion we've been having for, about 40 years in this country, maybe longer. But is it fair, is it right for an elected MP to say Canada is a dictatorship?
To me, it's not advisable because it undermines people's faith in the system. I mean, exactly as you say, there's a legitimate political debate for Canadians, all Canadians, about does the PMO have too much power? Is a majority government under our system? Does it give too much power to the Prime Minister? Because it does give the Prime Minister and a majority even more power than the American president has. But, to me, it's quite clear what's happening here. May, and she must sort of patrol the internet and social media, because this starts with an article in the Huffington Post about a guy saying Canada will become a dictatorship under Justin Trudeau.
Let's bring up the full conversation here for people to see. So HuffPo quotes this: Canada will become a dictatorship under Trudeau. That's from Daniel Dickin. He's been on the show. He's talked about his book about the McGuinty Win Liberals. And she writes back, "What do you mean become?" Now, I disagree completely with Daniel Dickin as well. He is absolutely wrong. But as Jim Holt said, maybe the most irresponsible remark you've ever made, EM. And she said, it's more than a remark, it's the truth. We have become an elected dictatorship. Daniel Dickin is not an elected MP. Daniel Dickin, who started this, is not the leader of a party.
Yeah, that wants to be the government of Ontario. And also, I mean, an elected dictatorship, it's an oxymoron. I mean, so the point being, to me, it's not even so much what May says, but this is, to me, has been a pattern with her. When the Liberals are under attack, you remember she was the one who wanted the Liberals and Green Party to cooperate on candidates in ridings across the country. We won't run one. That was with Stéphane Dion. And it's just like, it just seems like to me, she should give it up and just become a Liberal. I mean, really, just become a Liberal.
Or keep running your own party. But if Canada was a dictatorship, we might not have allowed Greens to run. We might not allow media that disagree with the government to exist. But all those things happen. In fact, I'm shocked that Huffington Post ran an article that negative about Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I think you're right. Look, when you are when you are a member of Parliament, and particularly a leader of a political party, I think that you have some responsibility to the system. Now, there's all kinds of things that Elizabeth May can say legitimately. She can say, I don't believe in first past the post voting. I believe that gives the ruling party like 54% of the seats with 38% of the votes. I believe in proportional representation because it would help a party like the Greens. Fine, that's fair. It's also fair to say there's been a very worrisome trend in Canada. I would say really starting with Justin Trudeau's father, Pierre Trudeau, and continuing through every prime minister since then, Tory and Liberal, of centralizing power in the PMO's office. And I think that's not good for democracy. But if she wants to find a dictatorship, there are lots of countries. China's a dictatorship.
Oh, but no, China's great because they signed a climate deal.
Yeah, well.
So, so they're good.
Well, see, that to me is the problem where the left they just sort of they just spin out of control eventually. But no, I think the basic thing here is, look, she can say anything she wants. But when you are the leader of a party, when you presumably want to be the prime minister, obviously you're buying into the political process. Now, if you want to change the political process by democratic votes, by eventually getting perhaps a minority parliament to agree to proportional representation, all fair. But this, to me, was a leader sitting there, two things odd, that she would so short sell Canadian democracy, which is very strong and which a lot of people died for, number one. And number two, it always seems to be when somebody's criticizing a Liberal, that she goes like she goes. And so my attitude would be, seriously, are you a Liberal or a pseudo-Liberal, or do you have your own party and your own ideas? Because the Greens should have some very different ideas from the Liberals if they're really Greens.
I would agree with that. And I'll end on this and get your reaction. And that is that maybe we could just dismiss Elizabeth May as not counting because she is a party of 2 MPs. She's got herself and Bruce Heyer, who crossed over from the NDP. But she is given all kinds of credence by the mainstream media that say this woman, this is a real party and they should be in the debates and they're central. And she's quoted extensively. So she's given a lot of credence by the media, but she's not called to task for crazy comments like this.
Well, not only has she given a lot of credence, too, she demands that attention. She is the one always arguing that the Greens are a serious party. They run in every riding. And so to me, I take her at her word. Yes, you are a serious person. You are a potential leader of this country. I don't know that's going to happen. But it's more, I think, understanding the role of a parliamentarian. And from the things I see her say very often, she's very bright. But I don't really think she understands what that role is.
No, I think you're correct on that. Lori, great talking as always.
Take care.
All right, you want to follow all the headlines you need to know about sunnewsnetwork.ca and make sure you tweet them out. See if Elizabeth May has anything to say.